The album that we are going to be discussing is the brand new album by Dolly Parton, Rockstar. Rockstar is the 49th solo studio album by American singer-songwriter Dolly Parton. It is released on November 17th, 2023. The album is a collaborative project with many rock musicians, and this is Parton's first venture into the rock genre, specifically as an album. So, Eric, your thoughts on this album? It is 30 tracks.
30 tracks. This was a long album to listen to. Like, it clocks in at 2 hours and 22 minutes, which is a long time. So you can't really, like, I couldn't really, like, sit down and listen to it in one go. And I remember, I think it was like 3 days into the week of our, like, last episode that we aired. I was like, oh my God, I'm still, like, I still got a handful of songs to go through here. So, I mean, I feel like this was a fun album. I don't think that this was meant to be taken seriously.
Right.
I think this was just Dolly Parton. Like, I think she was just curious and just was like, you know what, I want to make a rock album. However, like, some of the songs on, like, there are very little songs that are hers on here.
Right.
And I think it's the only two opening tracks. There might be one in the middle.
I think there's two in the middle, if I'm not
Two in the middle,
mistaken.
yeah. But, like, I mean, for the individual songs, those songs were actually not too bad. I didn't mind them. I actually didn't mind.
The two openers?
Yeah, I didn't mind them. Like, I thought Rockstar was a cool song. Like, I thought it was neat. Neat. It's almost like saying, "Oh yeah, they're nice," or whatever. Uh, yeah, I just, like, I thought it was fun, and it was like kind of like a fun opener. But predominantly this was mostly covers. I did respect the fact that she mostly played that cover song with the actual artist,
Yeah.
which I thought was kind of cool. Because and I didn't know this because I was out for a run and I was listening to Every Breath You Take. I was like, okay, this is a cool one, and it's like, so she does some of the covers very well. And then all of a sudden Sting just starts singing the backup vocals. Now, I didn't look up anything about this album, didn't know what songs were on here. So I was just like, that's kind of cool. Right. So then you got Open Arms, you got Steve Perry on there, you got the Wilson
So good.
sisters on Magic Man, which I liked Magic Man. That was probably my favorite cover of them all. But yeah, I thought it was fun. I thought some of the songs didn't belong. Like, I like, people are gonna probably hate that I'm saying this, but I don't think Wrecking Ball is a rock song.
Oh, okay. We'll have a
So,
discussion about this, but
mm,
continue. Continue on the rest of it, because I need to
so
talk to you about Wrecking Ball.
okay. I'm interested to see what you say. Uh, but yeah, so now you're throwing me off. I thought it was cool too how she just did not give a shit and was like, I don't care. I'm playing these long ass rock songs. Like, you got Stairway to Heaven on there. You got We're the Champions mixed with We Will Rock You. Right.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then the last song, Freebird, which is like
I know, it was
saying,
great.
and what was crazy is like, there's some parts of the covers that I didn't really like. I thought was kind of cheesy, like in Stairway to Heaven. I thought when she just started singing Stairway to Heaven over and over again, and this is before the guitar solo came in, and I was listening to this, I'm like, all right, that's cheesy. I feel like they're gonna end off here. And then because at the beginning I was like, are they gonna do the guitar solo or are they not? And they did. So it's just like, that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't see anything too crazy. I think she just wanted to do this for fun.
Yeah. That is what it feels like. Okay, so full stop. Like, I love this album. I went into this being like, this. There's no way this karaoke album is gonna be any freaking good. And like the first two songs, originals, I was like, okay, Rockstar, whatever. World on Fire, okay, I get it. It's like modern day folk song that you want to talk about how the world's like on fire, it's ending, blah blah blah. Okay, fine.
Mm-hmm.
Every Breath You Take was nice, and I was like, ooh, they got Sting to come in here and redo vocals and do a backing vocal.
Uh,
That's pretty
and that's what
cool.
I said. That's what I said too.
I was like,
But I'll let you continue.
that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. And then it goes into Open Arms by Journey, and
Mhm.
Steve Perry comes on, and I was just like, this is the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life. You brought the fucking voice out of retirement and like put him on your cover of Journey. Like, this is the greatest album that's ever been created.
Mhm. And it's crazy too that Dolly Parton has that pull, because
I know.
I feel like if this was any other musician, like I'm gonna use Slash as an example because he's
Yep.
done songs, but they're originals with famous other musicians. But I feel like if Slash came up to Steve Perry and was like, "Hey, I want to do a song with you," I feel like he'd
There's
be
no
like,
way.
"No, I'm not sorry."
No,
But
same.
like this
Yeah,
just
same thing with Sting. Like Sting does
Mhm.
not like you can't tell him to come back and do his own song.
Yeah, can you sing backup vocals on your own song?
It's nuts.
Like probably one of the greatest songs you've ever made. And I feel like again, Dolly Parton has that pull because she's just a beast
Yeah,
when it comes to like country music in general.
yeah,
Um yeah, and I'm not saying that I hated this album. I just thought like I don't think she took this seriously, but it came out good,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. And then Either Or, which has Kid Rock on it, and say what you
Mhm.
will about Kid Rock and his political affiliations, which are absolutely wacko, but I'm sort of glad that you can have sort of that, left and like every sort of person or musician,
Mhm.
whichever viewpoint or wherever, whatever the background is, can be on this Dolly Parton album. I sort of appreciated that because, like, not a lot of people would have the guts to put Kid Rock as a feature today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's almost like what I love about that, like you make a great point because it's like you're just cut the bullshit, cut
Yeah,
what your beliefs, cut my beliefs. We're here to make music.
yeah,
Music is a completely different realm, and I feel like that's what it should be.
yeah. Because
It
you have
should be
Joan
this free
Jett on this
space.
record and Kid Rock
Oh
on,
my
like,
god.
the completely different, like, left and
You
right.
have freaking Lizzo
Yeah,
on
you have
this
Lizzo
record.
on this record. Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
insane.
So I really appreciate that. At first,
Mhm.
I was like, I don't know how I feel about Kid Rock being on this album, but I was like, you know what? It's like great that you can just have every single person on this album.
It is pretty crazy. Like you got Stevie Nicks, like Miley Cyrus is on here,
Yeah,
Chris Stapleton,
yeah,
Peter Frampton,
yeah.
right? Like
Steven
I even
Tyler. Oh my God,
yeah,
Steven Tyler. Holy
which
shit.
which is insane too because like the guy can't really sing
Yeah,
anymore.
but on this record, like somehow he could still hit that
Mm,
high note. He didn't hit it for very long, but he like hit it. I was just like,
mhm.
holy shit.
Man, like and then you got the Wilson sisters, right? Like it's just it's insane the amount of talent that is pulled here.
Yeah.
Like
Elton
Paul
John's on it.
McCartney. Paul
Yeah.
McCartney's on here, right?
Yeah.
It's
Paul
just
McCartney,
ridiculous.
Ringo Starr. It's
Mhm,
crazy. Um, okay, we need to talk about, actually, the one disappointment I did have is Night Moves, because like it's a
mhm.
Bob Seger song. Chris Stapleton takes over for the Bob Seger vocals. I was honestly hoping that Bob Seger would come out of retirement and sing on Night Moves. I was like praying for it. I was like, is that Bob Seger? No, it's Chris Stapleton. That was my only letdown on this album.
Mhm. I know what you mean because, like, you're listening to these songs and then even, like, at the beginning, so, like, you heard Sting and then the next one, Open Arms, I'm like, "There's absolutely no way that they got
Yeah,
Steve Perry to come on the
I
album," and
know.
then he starts singing and you're like, "Holy shit,
Yeah,
it's Steve Perry."
yeah.
And then you have, Magic Man, and I'm like, "Okay, that'd be sick if, like,
And
the
Wilson.
Wilson
Yeah,
sisters play and Ann Wilson can't like, she can't sing like she used to,
yeah.
but she could still sing, and that was cool. They had both of them on there, and then it just kept going. And I
I
was
know.
like,
It was
this is
crazy.
insane. Like, and then but the whole time it kept going, I was like, there's no way that they got this person. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's it's nuts.
Mhm,
And like I just want to say, like, overall Dolly Parton's vocals are, it's not quite there anymore. She can
mhm.
obviously still carry a tune, but like you can tell she can't hold those notes. Like there are
Yeah.
so many instances where it's just like that should have been like double the length of what you just held and it'd been so much
Mhm.
better. But at the same
It's like
time,
singing Christmas carols with your grandma
yeah,
at
yeah.
Christmas.
But at the same time,
Mhm,
it's like she's what 70 plus at this point. I feel like somewhere in that realm.
mhm,
So it's like okay, well, I can't really blame you to not have the lung capacity anymore to do those songs or hit those
mhm.
notes. All right, Wrecking Ball. Here's my thoughts on Wrecking Ball. I think this is the best song on the album.
Interesting. Wow.
I Miley Cyrus to me has always been like sort of her rock punk singer. Like as much as obviously she is in that pop realm,
Mhm.
her attitude is very much like a rock and roller.
It
Um
is very rock and roller.
yeah.
But okay, I'll let you continue because I'm
And
interested
then
to
the
see what you're going
connection
to say about this.
between the two, right? Dolly Parton is the godmother of Miley Cyrus, so having that sort of family connection
Mhm,
and both of them on that song is like pretty cool. I just really like the rearrangement of Wrecking Ball, where when Miley Cyrus comes in on verse two, if I'm not mistaken, and then the guitars just chug. I'm just like,
mhm.
this is genius. Like if they kept the original arrangement or like just made it like kept it in that pop realm, I'd be like, whatever, this
Mhm,
is what. But they really like cranked it up and just like put in guitars, put in drums into the song. It just
mhm.
made it, for me, it is better than the original.
Interesting. That's very interesting, Kim.
I really like this version of Wrecking Ball with Miley Cyrus and Dolly Parton on it.
I agree. It was a good cover. I still think Magic Man is number one for me on this album. I thought it was great. I thought Dolly Parton's, you know, elderly vocals really suit the song very well in that one.
Right.
However, I still don't think Wrecking Ball is a rock song. Like you look at all these songs
Right.
on here, it's like rock and roll history.
Yes. No, I agree with that. I agree that it is
Mhm.
not a rock song, but they rearranged it where it does rock, would be my argument on that.
Yes. Yes. No, that's true. But but I still don't think it belongs on the album because I just don't think like look at this. Like you have all the greats here, right? You've
Yeah.
all the greats here
Yep.
and they're actually here too, right? So like it's almost like you have a flash of like a little flash of rock and roll history here. Like
Yes. Yep.
from like the 60s all the way
All
to
the way
like
90s, really.
all the way to the 90s. Well, like I think the deluxe version she actually sings Maneskin song. And
Oh,
Maneskin's on
really?
there,
Oh,
right?
okay. So
So like
current.
right? So you could technically say current, but we're just doing the basic album here.
Yeah.
We're not doing any deluxe thing. So I just think Wrecking Ball is just it's
It
just
sticks
not
out.
there. It
I
sticks out
see.
for
I
me.
see. I see. I don't know.
So
It's for me. It's still my favorite song on this album. I think it's better than the original. I think Miley Cyrus just knocks it out of the park in terms of her
mhm.
vocal delivery on this one. Normally, I don't like her vocals because she sounds like she smoked like 12 packs a day for like 10 years. Like it doesn't do it for me. But like this
Mhm.
re-recording of the song is just like, oh, it's so good. I just love this
That,
song. It's so good.
that's fair. That's fair.
Can't get no satisfaction. Actually, Pink and Brandy Carlisle, like on this, pretty
Mhm.
solid vocally. It's really good.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
Um,
thought for sure that they were gonna have the Rolling Stones, so I was a bit
right.
disappointed.
Yeah, yeah,
I was like, "You pulled all these other people, but you couldn't pull like Mick Jagger." They just came up with a hit album,
yeah,
right? Like,
yeah. That would have been really great, but I guess they were
mhm,
busy. They're too busy. Um,
yeah.
and then skipping over "Stairway to Heaven," Lizzo on flute, which I found hilarious. This is the funniest thing because she does play flute, but like
Mm,
uh, I'm, you know what? I'm actually, like when like modern, especially old white artists who try to become relevant again, and they bring
mhm,
on like a hip hop artists to like do a rap verse on their song to be like, to be more
Yeah.
relatable to the kids. I
Yeah.
fucking hate that. In general, I
I
hate
hate it
that.
too.
So
Hmm.
like I'm glad they didn't do Stairway to Heaven and then Lizzo comes in and sings or like raps something. I was like, that would have been terrible.
I thought it was going to be awful because I thought the exact same thing when I saw the name. Because after listening to it and thinking, oh my god, they're getting all these hit people, and I'm like, I wonder if like it's like, oh, Lizzo, okay. And I remember just pausing. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, right? Because usually you're right. It's just like you're not. It doesn't mix well.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like it doesn't mix well because you're forcing it. I think that's why it doesn't
Yeah.
mix well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the flute the flute is a little hilarious.
I mean, it's a crucial part to the song, but it's hilarious they got
Hmm.
Lizzo of all people to
Hmm.
do the flute part for Stairway to Heaven. Like
Could
it,
you imagine getting that call as Lizzo? You're just sitting there and it's like, hey, Dolly Parton wants to record a song with you. Oh, that I'm sure Lizzo, like even in
yeah,
that realm of music, they know, oh, Dolly Parton, like
yeah.
a legend. Sure. What am I singing? Oh no, we want you to play the flute. That would be a funny phone call.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. Yeah,
Mm.
Chasing Dragonflies, she does play the flute. She named her flute Sasha, if I'm not mistaken. Her flute actually has a name. I think it's Sasha Flute. I'm pretty sure. And it does seem like the flute is making a comeback. Everyone plays the flute now.
Well, obviously Andre 3000
I know.
started a trend here.
I
I
know.
think that's what happened. He started a trend.
Um,
But he outmasters all of them though. That's the best
I
part.
know it's crazy.
Uh,
We Are the Champions, We Will Rock You. That was interesting because like normally it's We Will Rock You first, and then it goes into
mhm.
We Are the Champions. Like that's how Queen typically does it, and that's how all the radio stations do it. But she did it in the opposite order: We Are the Champions first,
Which
and We Will Rock You. I was like,
I
okay, that's
wasn't
cool.
I wasn't really a fan of it, to
Like
be
the
honest.
songs in general, or like,
Does like that song,
yeah, yeah,
I like the songs. The original songs are kick ass, especially Queen when you listen to them do it. Um, right? But like it was good, but I just felt like, oh, okay.
yeah. It felt
Like
more
at least they
karaoke.
did, yeah, at least they didn't do Bohemian Rhapsody because then I would have been really pissed off. Because I
Imagine,
feel like there's certain songs you don't touch, right?
unless they got John Deacon out of retirement, and then Brian May and the
That would have
drummer
been cool.
Taylor or something. Oh
Hmm.
shoot, this is gonna bother me unless I look this up. Drummer for Queen, Roger Taylor. There you go.
Yeah.
They got Roger Taylor, Brian May, and John Deacon out of retirement. That'd been pretty cool. But
Oh
anyways,
yeah.
and then Bygones, Rob Halford, Nikki Sixx, and John
Hmm.
Five. When Rob Halford came on, I was like, holy shit, you got the freaking metal god on here.
Hmm.
I never thought in a million years I would ever hear a song of Rob Halford and Dolly Parton on there.
Oh, I thought it was a fun album. Like I don't think I liked it as much as you do.
I love this album.
Um, I pictured this as in like when you watch those music award shows and they have like 10 different artists on the stage singing like a famous song. Like that's like all that's this album screamed to me.
Yeah.
However, most of the covers were good. Most of the covers were good. That there were some that I didn't really care for. But yeah, I thought it was a fun album. Like I don't think I'm going to be listening to this again, but you know.
Uh, oh, I need to get your thoughts on I Dreamed About Elvis, the third to last song. So, for those of
Mhm.
you who haven't listened to this album yet, the third to last song is called I Dreamed About Elvis. And it's essentially just I don't know what genre it is, but it's like a show tune. It's like it's sort of a skit, but it tells a story
Mhm.
in the song about how Dolly Parton had a dream, and Elvis shows up in it, and then they start singing songs together. Um, So, and the background of this is that they got Ronnie McDowell, who is an Elvis impersonator, to do the Elvis parts. So you actually have Elvis singing in here. And fun fact, the Jordanaires, who are the original Elvis Presley backing band, are also on this track, which I
Oh.
thought was really cool that they were able to get them. Obviously, not all of them are still alive, but the Jordanaires of today's iteration were
Mm,
on this. So, Eric, I just want to know what your thoughts of this song is, because I think this is the
mm.
first time that this song has been recorded in a studio, and the first time she performed it was like 6 or 7 years ago live. It's only been a
Hmm.
live thing.
I actually quite enjoyed this one. I thought it was kind of cool, kind of because it gave that really like almost like 50s surfer vibe
Yep.
to it, which I kind of dug. And I like the idea, even though I'm not a fan of Elvis. I do like the idea of the song. I think that's kind of cool
Yeah.
because like what musician or like what you know yeah what musician, all of you out there who aren't famous that just sit at home, play their instruments at home, have not dreamed about you know like when you started your craft, oh my god, I would like die if I played with Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that was like me. Like Eric Clapton would be the person that,
Mm-hmm.
like for this. I dreamed about Eric Clapton, right?
Yeah.
So I did appreciate this song. This is because this was an original, correct?
Yeah. I don't know who wrote
Yeah.
it. I didn't get that far into the research, but yes, it is an original.
Yeah. So this is actually like out of the originals, I would say this is the best one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for me, this is the second best song of the album. it's, I love when a song is able to tell a story. I could follow it and it entertains me. And she puts in little tidbits, like obviously she's referencing a lot of Elvis songs in the lyrics itself. She like references Heartbreak Hotel, Teddy
Mhm.
Bear, Blue Suede Shoes, all that stuff. But then they have a dialogue together saying how Elvis almost recorded what's the song by Whitney Houston? I Will Always Love You, right? I Will
Mhm.
Always Love You, made famous by Whitney Houston, but written by Dolly Parton. She's the writer of that song. And Elvis almost recorded it when he was alive, but the Colonel axed that. He said, "No, we don't want to
Mhm.
pay the royalties, or we need 50% of royalties." And Dolly Parton said, "No, you can't record the song then if you need that much money." Um, but in her dream in the song, she's like, "My dream was that you would have sang this song. So can you sing it? Can we sing this together in my dream?" And they do a duet of "I Will Always Love You," that song, and I was just like, "This is the greatest. This is the greatest like music nerd thing that's ever existed."
Mhm. Yeah, it was fun. I'm not gonna use that line again. It was fun. It was definitely fun. No, I did appreciate it. I thought that was really cool. And yeah, as like a music nerd, how can you not
Yeah, it's
appreciate that?
I just there's so many like little things and big things on this album that's just like I can't believe this happened. I can't believe you got
Mhm.
like these people. I can't believe you got all these ideas in here. Like I understand why it's 30 songs because you just had so many people come in. Uh I wouldn't have
Mhm.
done 30. I still think it's too long, but man, there's just so much good stuff.
Mhm.
Final thing, Freebird, the closer. Your thoughts on this being the last song on this ridiculously long album.
I mean, I like Freebird for what it is. I think it's like a cool song, and I really enjoy the fact that people always request it for some reason from bands. And that's why, like, for those of you, sometimes when I'm watching the Chasing Dragonflies live streams, I'll type in play Freebird, and it hasn't happened yet. So I'm still waiting for that. But yeah, I'm putting you on the spot there, chasing dragonflies. But yeah, again, like it's I'm surprised she did the full thing. So
10 minutes 45 seconds. It's
mhm.
like it's the most outrageously long song for no good reason, but
I
it is a
know that's
great song.
I would have probably ended on I dreamed about Elvis.
Oh,
I
really?
probably would have
Okay.
ended on that. Like, I thought Freebird was because, like, already I felt like like Freebird's a little exhausting to listen to sometimes, especially if you heard it many times. And I was just like, man, like I thought she wasn't gonna play the full song of Stairway to Heaven, and she did,
Yeah.
right? So like this, I'm like, oh man, like this is like I don't know. I felt like that was exhausting for me, but
I for me, I when I
mhm,
listen to Freebird, I accept that it's going to be exhausting.
mhm.
And the kicker is I think they do realize that it is like a ridiculous song because if you go back and listen to this, like the last minute is probably just outro. It's literally drum fills and guitars just wailing at. Like I honestly thought the song was gonna end like 5 times in that last minute because the drums would just like do a fill and then it would start a new fill after that as just like keep going. And like the song never ended. And they just made it so outrageous and over the top. I
Mhm.
was like, this is great. This should just like go for another 10 minutes. I don't know. There's just something about this album. It's just like this is just really entertaining and fun. There's a lot of like
Mhm,
backstory, and there's a lot of things like little things that you can research about it. And there's a lot of different connections because Dolly Parton's had a ridiculously long career, and there's a bunch of
mhm,
like connections here that you can make. Um, I don't know. It's just I really enjoyed this album. I think the only down points are that she doesn't have the lung capacity to really hold notes anymore, which I think for the most part is forgiven on most of these songs.
mhm.
And I really don't think this should have been 30 tracks. Like, I think if they got it to 20, it would have been much better.
More manageable.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
like you didn't need to do Purple Rain because like Prince isn't
No.
alive, so just take that out.
Yeah, I
There's
would
a
have taken
few.
out Night Moves.
You would
I
take out
think
Night Moves?
I would have taken out Night Moves.
Yeah, because it's just Chris Stapleton, right? Yeah,
And I'm not dissing the song. Like I thought the thing
yeah,
was
yeah,
good, but it's like you have all these artists that you're actually performing with the artists.
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
it's just like I would get rid of the ones that like you said, Purple Rain, Night Moves. I would have gotten rid of Wrecking Ball,
Yeah.
even though you don't think, but I don't think it classifies.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Um, but yeah, this album is just fun. Anyways, talked about this for too long. Eric, your final thoughts, ratings for Rockstar by Dolly Parton, the 49th solo studio album.
Mhm. I mean, you gotta like I can forgive the vocals. Anybody can because like look like she's a legend. Like she is a legend. She is the legend of country music. I feel like today,
Yeah.
and she will go down in history of like being any kind of country artist influence. Right.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
And she
and
she wrote her songs. She wrote her own songs.
yeah, so you got to
It's
give her credit
crazy.
for that,
Yeah.
which is like what like 60s. So you're having a
No one
lot
did
of
it. Not
like
even the
nobody did.
guys did it. Elvis
Yeah.
didn't. Johnny Cash didn't.
So, I mean, I had fun with this album. I thought it was fun to listen to. I thought it was kind of cool, like to listen to these songs with the actual artists, and you can tell that the artists were having fun with it too. Like, and that was the other point I wanted to make,
Mm,
because like you have like Stevie Nicks, she's having a fun time singing with, or even Joan Jett,
yep.
right? When they're having their little banter at the beginning, like, like it's like, oh, I hate myself for loving you. It's like, yeah, sing it, Dolly, right? Like,
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. It was fun. However, I don't think it's like anything crazy. But I would recommend people to just give it a listen if you like Dolly Parton. If you like these rock musics, I think it's kind of cool. So I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
Oh,
I'm giving it an 8 out of 10, even though it may have seemed
I
that
thought you were gonna give it like a
I
5 or something.
a 5. No, like because I appreciate what it for what it is. Like I appreciate for what it is, and I'm not going to listen to it again. But I think that the covers themselves were pretty well done. And so
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I'm giving this a solid 9 out of 10 for this record.
Ooh.
It's obviously not a perfect record. This is not going to change the world or like anything like that. It's not a huge artistic expression. It's just a fun, entertaining album. And the songs are great. Like it's just a great album. I love this album. I'm probably gonna listen to it for the rest of the year because I just really like it. But there's definitely like 30 tracks is too long. There's definitely like songs I just skip. It's like,
Mm.
but 9 out of 10 just because the moments where it's good are just like magic. Like Open Arms with Steve Perry today is just like I can't believe it. I can't believe this happened.
Oh, I know. I can't believe that she still pulled all these people and all of them said yes.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay. That's our discussion on Rockstar by Dolly Parton. So the podcast is taking a break for a week. We're gonna be back in 2 weeks' time. But in 2 weeks' time, we're gonna do something a bit different. What we will be changing to is a book club. We're going to be
Yes. We
not
are going
talking
to be
about
the Crossroads book podcast where we will
um,
read Catcher in the Rye.
we're gonna be talking about Bono's book, Surrender 40 Songs, Our Story, or sorry, One Story. Um, it's not gonna be an album. It's going to be the book. I'm like halfway through it, so I need to pick up speed.
Same with me. I this is why I've been listening to a lot of YouTube
Okay.
lately. So,
Yeah. Yep. A book
mhm.
club. We're changing to a book club in 2 weeks' time. So,
Yes.
yeah, Bono's new book that came out, I think, earlier this year, not last year. I'm pretty sure it was this year.
Yes,
Um,
and fun tidbit when I was reading I've been reading the book and I like obviously have my daughter Rosie like on my lap and I'll be reading like this and I saw her like a few days ago look at Bono's face and then she just started smiling, which was hilarious because I'm like, what the hell? She would look at Bono's face and smile, which is hilarious. So I got a kick out of that.
that's cute. Anyways, this is the Crossroads Music Podcast. We will be back in 2 weeks' time. We are taking a break next week. We're here at twitch.tv/the Crossroads Music Podcast every 10 p.m. ET, 7 p.m. PT. Catch us on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, all those places. Let us know what you think about this album if you ever do get around to listening to it. Do you think that Wrecking Ball, this version, is the greatest song ever created? Let us know.
Oh man.
But yeah, we'll be back in 2 weeks' time. Eric, any closing thoughts?
No,
Anything? All right.
not at all.
Well, that's how we're gonna end it. We'll see you all next time. Thanks for tuning in. Good night, everyone.
Peace.